If you want to check out the whole show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Let's move on to Vikings Lions. That is next up. Vikings Lions. Let's see what we are dealing with here. Lions have just come out of a few books because of the unknown of Stafford. Vikings open up at -6.5. They're now 6.5 or 7. This total at 54.5. Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. Vikings 6-9, 3-4 on the road. Lions 5-10, 1-6 at home. Vikings are on extra rest after losing 52-33 at New Orleans on Christmas night. Minnesota eliminated from playoff contention while allowing the most points by any Vikings team since 1963. Whew. Saints never punted. Set a record for yards gained by a Vikings opponent with 583. Their defense was torched by Alvin Kamara, who ran for 155 yards, 6 touchdowns. Vikings have allowed the 5th most rushing yards in the league this season. Defensive tackles Shamar Stephen and Jaleel Johnson are just, overwhelmed. Zimmer has said that Minnesota's lost 6 linebackers, 3 defensive linemen, 3 cornerbacks, and a safety from the start of the year. Vikings defense allowing 29.3 points per game, 5th highest in the league. First-round pick Jeff Gladney out of TCU missed 3 tackles, and Breeze completed every pass that went into his coverage area. And then we had this, Blake Lynch, undrafted rookie from Baylor, promoted from the practice squad 3 weeks ago, and team high 10 tackles. People chanting Rudy, I'm guessing. He's the 7th different player to start a linebacker for the Vikings this season. Cousins, 27-41 for 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Dalvin Cook ran 15 times for 73 yards. Adam Thielen had his first good game since COVID, 8 catches for 97 yards. Kyle Rudolph missed his 3rd straight game. Eric Kendricks, calf, out for the 4th game in a row. They have 7 guys that were inactive, and they're all fighting injuries. Those 2, linebacker Todd Davis, running back Alexander Mattison, fullback C.J. Ham, linebacker Troy Dye, defensive end Jalen Holmes. And I don't expect any of them to come back and play. And Cameron Dantzler suffered an undisclosed injury, another cornerback. He's listed as questionable. I agree with Prince of the City completely and totally here. Whose backups are better? I would stay far away from this meaningless game. This is the type of spot that I want nothing to do with. Can you shed some light in this spot, Bebsy?
I mean, I'm with you and Prince here. I don't know how you bet on this game. There's going to be so many guys on either roster that we just don't even know who they are for this game. So how do you bet on guys you know nothing about? Who's going to step up? Both teams have been just abysmal. The Vikings, at least for a portion of the season, looked like they had a shot. But yeah, this is just complete and total stay away game. Maybe if you recognize some names come Sunday, throw down some prop bets in this one. But as far as lines, I can't get a good look one way or another.
Lions coming off that extremely ugly 47-7 loss at home to Tampa. Robert Prince handled the coaching duties after Darrell Bevell was sidelined by COVID-19 protocols. Lions allowed 588 yards, 2nd highest total in team history, highest in a regulation game. Lions have held only one team to fewer than 363 yards. That was Jacksonville 2 months ago. They're allowing 413.9 yards per game. Stafford lasted for 3 passes before leaving with an ankle injury. This guy wants to start every game, so I expect him to start again. Chase Daniel went 13-86 for 86 yards. David Blau came in 6-10 for 49 yards. Reminded me of a Thanksgiving a couple years ago. Blau out there. Lions were 1 for 10 on 3rd down. DeAndre Swift ran 10 times for 45 yards. Danny Amendola led receivers 5 catches for 37 yards. Jamal Agnew has been so good on special teams. He kept them from being shut out. Returned a punt for 74 yards and a touchdown. Joe Dahl, their guard dealing with back injury list, is questionable. And center Frank Ragnow, linebacker Jamie Collins, offensive tackle Tyrell Crosby, wide receiver Kenny Golladay remain questionable to play. Look, I mean, Bebsy, Slat says, Bebsy, your last chance to sneak on an NFL roster.
I can kick. I can punt. I'll punt for them. I can do this.
Yeah, Sebastian Cornwell, thinking about the under, I mean, these 2 defenses have been horrible. 54.5.
It is pretty high, yeah, 54.5. I mean, if this is all backups playing, could go one way or another. It could be offenses that are just completely inept, or it could be nobody. You feel like in games like this where it doesn't matter, a lot of guys who know that they still have a job next year, they make business decisions left, right, and center. You see poor tackling in these games, which obviously leads to huge points, which is probably why this total is so high. But I get why the under is appealing, but again, just too many unknowns with two garbage teams that aren't going to play a lot of starters.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with it. Let's move on to the next spot on the card. It's
Before we do, Jimmy, I'm going to jump in on the Jets' first half here.
Okay.
I'm going to go back one game. I hate that I'm putting money with the Jets, but I just can't. I can't see them. You're right. They're having fun right now, and if Cam's starting this game, which I think JT said they are, I just like the Jets coming out hot.
It's plus 2.5, minus 115 at BetMGM, but we know that Bet365 is hanging at plus 2.5 and minus 105. Let's just see if that's still being hung just in case. The New York Jets. Yeah, plus 2.5, minus 105 at Bet365. Yeah, it makes sense. That was the only. I was actually hoping that'd be my only thing on this card, but I do think that under 22 is interesting. But I'm trying so hard not to have too much action. I have these nightmares of that week 17. Sorry, where are we here? Here we go. So I'm already on first half full game. Bebsy's coming in on first half plus 2.5, minus 105.